Welcome to yet another interview episode of our corporate success community Silver Star Hall of Fame interview series. And just like all our episodes, we have one more Silver Star with us. We have Dr. Prakriti Bhaskar. Here she is. Before I go to Dr. Prakriti, I'd like to give a quick introduction of hers. And here it is. Dr. Prakriti Bhaskar is an artist. She has been involved with the traditional Indian classical dance form, Bharatnatyam, for almost 4 decades now. That's awesome, isn't it? She is a performer, she's a teacher, she's a choreographer, she's a curator, she's a writer, she's a researcher, so on and on and on and on. And she also holds a PhD in dance. She has a school of her own, and awesome, isn't it? So I'm really happy to have Prakriti today here in this Silver Star Hall of Fame interview series because she is a silver star in our community. And without any further ado, let's directly connect with her. Prakriti, first of all, congratulations to be a silver star. And I'm so happy and proud of you. And thank you very much for being here. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Alok. Thank you so much. It's a huge honor and privilege to be here. And I think the credit goes to you entirely for me being able to make it so far.
No, I'm so happy. I'm so happy for this. And looking at the kind of distance that you have covered when it comes to the dance form, when it comes to being a teacher, when it comes to having a doctorate, now guiding children in this journey of being, of living their passion. I've been intrigued, and I would love to ask you this question, Prakriti. When we talk about an artist, and I'm sure somewhere the artist mindset, because we talk about mindset these days a lot. So, how does an artist see the world compared to when we talk about a person who is doing 9 to 5, or maybe an entrepreneur, a person who is just working on a business or job for that matter? What is an artist's viewpoint of the world?
So I can speak for myself.
Mm,
Um, I think the artist sees the world through his heart.
mm-hmm,
It is, and through the love for his art form.
mm-hmm,
And it is guided completely through the heart. I think, I mean, going from my own inner experience, the logistic mind doesn't work for an artist, because then you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
right. Mm-hmm,
When there are no tangibles, it is only the passion and love
mm-hmm,
for your art form, or what you've been blessed to receive, as an art. Could be music, could be dance, painting, whatever. And it's just the sheer love for it, that you nurture it with all your passion, and you choose to devote your time. Now life is all about time. You
yes.
choose to devote your time in its sadhana. So it is
Mm-hmm,
not a self practice, internalizing it, and at some point wanting to share it with others, to share what it has brought to your life, or how it has enriched you, and to be able to bring those gifts to other people.
mm,
So I think for an artist, the life, uh, we don't look at life and, as what can I get in return, how much can I, the normal things that we need to look at, practicality of life. uh, it, to begin with, it doesn't make any sense, because you actually, there are no tangibles here. You don't know how long your career will last. You don't know how you're going to really make a livelihood. How many students are going to be, there's nothing permanent, so it's
mm,
mercurial. So what keeps you going? It's just that complete belief in the experience of what that art has done, how it has touched your life so deeply. So it's
Awesome.
different. It's a different world, no doubt.
Yes.
But I think we are all human beings, and we have the one thing that is common. I think is that we all have our own struggles. So, in the outside world, whether you're dealing with the world outside or you're cocooned in your own world, which may seem very creative and beautiful, but you all have we go through our own struggles, and we all have to find our way out through it.
Yes. The reason I asked you this question is, Prakriti, because I was about to come to this, that generally when we look at a normal, like a human being, a person out there, maybe that person is going to his job every day, or maybe his entrepreneurial project, or maybe a homemaker for that matter. We all have some of the other stresses that we are fighting with, right? It can be related to your health or work, relationship, XYZ, whatever it is. Do artists have stress? I know this might sound like a stupid question, but
No, no, it isn't. It's definitely. I mean, as I said, everyone goes through their, have to fight their own demons. So, when you're living a life where you don't know what is going to happen next, this month you did very well. Kind of, you're able to earn a livelihood. Also, you're able to fulfill your creative love also. But you don't know what will happen tomorrow, so you go through your own struggles. But I think each one, for me, it's always what is the intention of what you're doing. So the
mm,
intent is very important. So when your intent is important, that for example, for me, I didn't have really so much struggle as to I need so many performances, I need so many programs, I need so many students. These were not my struggles at all.
mm,
I mean, in that sense, I was quite unambitious. So my only, I think, yeah, there are struggles. There are struggles to hold on. There are struggles to staying as authentic.
mm.
And in this world where things are in a constant flux, and so many things, we're living in a world like the fast food culture.
Yeah, the speed culture. Yes.
Then you're looking at training in an art form that will take you minimum of 8 years. So yeah, we have, those are the struggles. How does one convince someone to take it up?
Yeah.
How does those you have your own struggles, but then if your intent is clear, then I would say that you're pretty much always kind of very rooted and very content and very confident that you will continue to work in a way you believe, and to deliver and to share, and the people who need to come into your life will
Yes.
come and receive. So there's not, for me, there's not been so much of a hassle, honestly.
Mm,
I've
mm.
it has just brought me a lot of contentment, and I've been happy with what I've received.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Lovely. Yes, and that ultimately, the way you receive it, the contentment, that makes you happy about what you have and the path that you are on. Prakriti, I would love to understand what made you gravitate towards mindfulness in particular. Uh,
So I've been dancing from my childhood. My mother actually gave me this. I say that's the greatest gift she gave me.
oh yes. Mm,
She brought dance into my life, and from like most children, for many years, initial years, uh, you just go because your parent wants you to pursue it, till the
yes.
point where a shift, in an inner shift happens, and where you start really enjoying the discipline. See, it's a discipline. It's not just fun. So,
Yes.
as children, there will always be that resistance, some kind of resistance to discipline. But when you start realizing yourself enjoying that discipline, then that shifts, and then you're self motivated.
Yeah.
Uh, and then there came a point where I got very dejected. I mean, with this world of the art, and I was kind of lost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know uh, how I would take it up. In your when you're trying to look at a career, you have
Yes.
so many questions, and at that point came into my life a teacher who uh, who had just internalized the art in his life. That's the only
Mm-hmm.
sadhana he had done. He was, in our terms, an illiterate man. And when I met him, something very deeply shifted in me in that very meeting. That it just kind of, there was just this looking at him, the understanding that these vidyas can't really be learnt, can't really be learnt as subjects. I mean, that's really my take. They are much like a spiritual process. They are a process of transmission, and you need to find a master who is able to, who's practiced it and then is able to transmit to you. And I was very blessed to find this master. Now, he was a rhythm wizard, and most of our classes were also very, very, there was no structure to the class, and as I got older, I and then came a point where I was doing a little research, that what made me feel the way I did even after a 3 year class. It was complete. So uh, when I danced, uh, I I experienced silence.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone said joy, joy, dance is joy, and I would like say that I just feel very silent. I just feel very peaceful. And so then there was some deep introspection on why that state, and uh, to realize that dance or any kind of an activity that requires space and time uh, can only exist in the present,
Yes.
would require uh, you to be in the moment, especially dance. And we call rhythm as the very breath of dance. Rhythm is called
Mm.
the breath of dance. So especially when you have to move to
Yes.
rhythm, you are in the purest time and in the purest space.
Oh,
Uh,
lovely. Yeah.
in time, the purest time is the present moment. It just brings you, it just anchors you to the present moment, because you have to keep time with the rhythm,
Yes.
you have to move with the rhythm. And in space, your mind can't even for a like a like of a moment, second, move here and there, because you will lose the entire coordination of the
Yeah.
move.
Yes.
So when you learn dance, you don't understand it like this, but it came as a revelation that it is a very deep meditative practice in itself.
Awesome.
Even for little children or for anyone who is attempting to do, I mean, I would like to specify classical dance, because it requires a certain level of uh, awareness. Like I say that there is no unconscious movement in dance, in the classical dance. From the moment you start, the way you hold your posture, to the way you look in front, to the way you move your hands, everything is predetermined, and that requires great alertness and awareness.
Mm.
With that is the mind being in the complete moment. So you are actually in a meditative state for some amount of time. And of course, but we don't realize it. But I know now that that is what it is.
Yes. Yes.
The,
And do you think that this is what is called as the flow state as well?
Absolutely.
Mm.
But I think the flow state is a little deeper level also, because
Mm.
initially you're just kind of, very automatic. When you're training, it becomes more automatic and more attention to the rhythm, and you
Um,
get into a flow step with the deeper practice. Uh,
awesome.
so when you become, and when the mind like kind of learns to taste this, I call it it just tastes this, where the mind is completely introverted, like it's uh, in yoga there is a term called pratyahara, that's
Yeah.
withdrawing your senses. Now you see, in normal life, if we have to just sit and try and withdraw senses, it will take us quite some time. Now in dance, just because the teacher in the first class, so for example, a child comes first class, is I give her two beats, like you have to just stamp to this beats.
Yeah.
Just the fact that she has to stamp her feet to this beat brings her into the moment,
Oh, yes.
and she's forgotten everything. She's just, her full attention is now. So it's such a powerful tool, you know.
And
So
that's where maybe the music, the body,
yeah,
the rhythm, the teacher, they all play a role of an anchor uh,
yes,
to be in the present.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. The rhythm first, and then everything comes in.
Yes.
Movement comes,
Mm.
expression comes, everything comes.
Awesome.
The mind learns to, I think, taste that, and so that's how I think that was my first experience of being mindful. But
Awesome.
we are habits, we are creatures of habits. So being mindful in dance doesn't make you mindful
In life.
otherwise.
Ah, no. So, this brings me to the next question, Prakriti. First of all, thank you very much for such an elaborative and a beautiful explanation that you gave in terms of how can an activity, like, you know, whenever you are performing something, in order to perform, you need to be in the present. You cannot think about something that has happened yesterday, something that's going to happen tomorrow, and then also perform in the present. Cannot happen. That alignment of the mind and the body needs to be there. So thank you very much for such a beautiful explanation. But you rightly said that when you are in a you when you are performing, and then when you are out of the performance, so then to be mindful becomes difficult. Right? So uh, tell me, Prakriti, I mean, everything that we are learning, the practices that we have in the community, the little ones and the other things that we have, what do you think is working for you? Like, are there something specific things that?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Firstly, let me first take this opportunity to thank you, Alok, for this space. I mean, I don't call it a course. I call it a sacred space,
Yeah.
because you have given this space for each one of us to come, and your very presence,
Yeah.
to become vulnerable. You know, uh, we are all masked up. The artist, so the one another differentiation I can see is the artist is not so masked up,
Mm.
because we are not so much in the outer world, like we live in our own, so there are less filters.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not talking about actors and all. We have an image, and so definitely some amount of veils. But to be able to drop that, our veil, and in a space that one feels is so non-judgmental.
Yes. Mm.
It's a wonderful space, and that I think allows for a lot of healing. I
Mm.
think we are all seeking
Yes.
just to be a little more happy, just to be a little more less stressed. So it allows for this healing. That is my experience, and so this and you've given wonderful tools, simple tools. They're
Yes.
not complicated. They're simple to follow. So for me, yes, what if I could say that the two biggest things that changed for me uh, was clarity of thought.
Mm.
I always say that clarity is most important, and
Yes.
true enough. When you are kind of confused, or when you are like feeling bogged down by situations and circumstances, clarity really helps you
Mm.
to take that step. Which way?
Yeah.
So zooming out.
Oh, yes.
Zooming out, I love that word.
Yes.
So zooming out helped me see things more objectively, see
Mm.
things from different perspectives, and I think it made me more empathetic in my approach. to challenging situations.
Yes.
It was not all about how I saw and how I felt about the situation. I think it's a big shift. The other thing was, you know, just becoming mindful of your thoughts.
Oh, yes.
To begin with your thoughts, I think that's the game changer for me.
Yes.
Like, it's how you perceive something that makes all the difference.
Mm.
And uh, through the cat,
Oh,
through
yes.
poets,
The cat and birds.
I love the poets so much. And also peace, you know.
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
it's beautiful.
yes.
Simple tools like these, the acronyms are so easy and so easy to remember what to
Easy to
do.
remember. Yes, yes, yes,
That you suddenly see a shift and you feel more empowered.
yes.
And isn't that a wonderful thing? To feel empowered that you only have the choice. I mean, and I love the other two terms you use constantly, controllables and uncontrollables.
Non-contact.
That's
Yes.
become also my mantra. That anytime, Baba, what is my controllable here?
And that's so very important, Prakriti, because I've seen, that used to happen with me also. And like, we all are emotional beings, and despite of, how much and all the intellectual dump that you are carrying with yourself, but during those challenging times, that negative bias happens. You are pulled towards that negative side, but how quickly you remember, acha, ha, mujhe ye dekhna hai, I need to focus on the control levels, so that pulls you back.
Just the ability to, as you said, like the poets, is that you pause and observe.
Oh, yes, yes,
Just
yes.
that that the remembering of that. Pause, observe your emotions, thoughts, and stories. It are narratives that can break things for us. All
Yes,
the time.
yes, those
Isn't it?
internal dialogues that we are always
All
on it.
our internal dialogues.
Yes,
That's
yes,
such an empowering thing you've given us all. And
yes,
the beauty is its simplicity, I tell you. The beauty is its simplicity.
yes,
Um,
yes, yes,
just to be able to remember so easily what you need to do, the 2 minutes to calm,
yes,
to be able to incorporate it, whether if there is it's just to make it a part of your routine is
yes.
so beautiful. So yeah, I think these have been definitely game changers for me.
Awesome, awesome, lovely. um Prakriti, you know um when I talk to a lot of my mentees, and many a times they are young. We are talking about youth as well. Many a times I connect with youth as well, and today I see a lot of young children. The kind of world that we are in right now, so much of competition, so much of pressure. पढ़ाई तो करनी है, studies are there, but at the same time, you know parents sometimes they expect a lot from their children, and you need to excel in this also, and children are stressed. Now, I know that you train a lot of young students, right? Have you seen similar pattern, like when you talk to those girls, those young students?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they are living in the same world as all other children. I mean, so they're going through their own stresses, their own
Mm.
pressures, the peer pressures, the demands of the education system, and which leaves them with, uh, I think, a lot of anxiety children go through.
Yes.
In that age, it's beautiful, childhood, you just should be a happy child. But now you have to also do excel in this and this and this. So, as I said, parents need to decide what they can give this child. Now, the education, you can't say, I'm not going to send my child to school. It's a non negotiable. But what else can you give the child to make to allow him to anchor into, very important, because the child is not, it's the mental, there's a lot of intellectual mental things happening, and I feel there is a lack of the emotional connect with it. So, as I said, dance was the greatest gift my mother gave. Instead of giving your child laptops and mobile phones and costly things, introduce them to a system
Mm.
that allows them to emotionally anchor within and enrich their inner world. Because
Awesome.
then at some point of time, the child learns to balance. You have to be out in the world, you have to do what you need, you want to do also well in your life. uh, no harm in that, but to not lose yourself completely. So you have to have systems which allow you to get back into, like centering yourself. And mindfulness is that process, honestly. And the arts, as I explained, how the arts, so they're camouflaged. It's
Yeah.
mindfulness is camouflaged in the arts. Like you say,
Yes,
you
it is
learn music, a child who's learning music becomes mindful. and
automatically.
and he learns to, can you imagine a child in today's day and age who cannot stay without, who can stay without an ipad or a mobile for even like 15-20 minutes?
It's difficult.
But you see a child who say can sing by himself or play an instrument, or like someone who can just dance, just practice dance. My children, they learn, they are asked to do like some amount of self practice. Easily half an hour, 45 minutes, they can just lock themselves in the room and enjoy just dancing.
Mm.
Oh, these are the tools I think parents need to see. They are also an emotional, I think that bridge, it is that emotional bridge that they allow for connecting within themselves. So,
Wonderful. I really like the way you brought this topic of emotional anchoring. And that emotional anchoring can be done via any activity, right? Dance is one of the activity. It can be done via singing or playing a musical instrument or maybe a sport for that matter. But I think, Prakriti, it's also important that uh, this should not be an additional source of stress and pressure for the child. That if you're taking this up, you need to excel in it.
no, so the thing is, yeah, very good, very important. So, why are you getting the art? Why do you want to put your child into, say, a dance class or music class? Now, don't put them in a class where they have to now give exams for dance and music.
Mm.
Please don't do that. Don't put them into. So I was honestly like competitive sports. I would say allow the child to just experience the sheer joy of being through them, you know and the arts are actually very emotional in nature.
Mhm.
They involve your entire being. It's just not the mind, or it's just not physical like the sports. It's uh, it's a very holistic discipline.
Yes.
So, whether it's music or singing or dancing, they're very emotional in nature. So allow the child to just enjoy. So that is why, especially at my class, there are no exams. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't excel. You see, the beauty of these are such beautifully structured disciplines. These were created by great rishis and munis, not ordinary people. Every, say, simple hastas like hand gestures are with such thought. It has been created. So
Yeah.
it's a refining process. It's emotionally, it's a deconditioning of your physical, because you learn to like move in a very very uh,
Rhythmic way.
yeah, in a very very conscious manner.
Mm.
You can't do what you like in a sense. It's emotionally deconditioning. It's cathartic also, and
Oh,
it's
yes.
mentally also. Because the mind can't think anything at once. Like I have a lot of children who are, especially when exams come, they come pretty much stressed with the amount of studying. But once they're into the class, where 2 hours have gone, and they're fresh, they're fresh in their minds, fresh to go back to whatever that they need to do.
And I
So,
think this mainly happens because via the practice, via that anchor, they are rooting themselves in the present, and whenever you are in the present, there is no stress. Like you are just flushing off everything, right? because generally stress happens when you're constantly fighting with the past and the future. But now
Absolutely.
when you're performing, you are in the present. So
Yeah,
you have no baggage to carry. Uh,
absolutely.
right. So
And
uh,
mm, the other thing is, it's a refining process, truly. So it's a very subtle process of refinement of the body, mind, emotions.
mm,
And the the more you practice, like in everything, practice is the key.
yes, it is.
Can learn whatever we want, and if you don't apply and practice, you never really will know what it's worth.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So and what it's doing to you. So the same in the arts, it is practice that leads you to the I take it like leads you to the depth of that ocean where you
Mm.
find the gems.
Ah, yes. Lovely.
So excelling without the stress, you need to practice. It's a discipline. You can't say I don't want to excel, because when you say I don't want to excel, it's like I go at my own laid back. नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. There are
Yeah.
gems. Please
There,
dive down.
there has to be a timeline.
Yeah. There
But
has to be some motivation and the willingness to do well. To do well, to reach to the depths, to find those gems, and that's hard work. That's
that's
hard.
how.
Yeah.
But thank you, Prakriti, for this message. I think this was very much needed, especially not just to the children but the parents also. And I loved the way you connected emotional anchoring with some kind of activity. Thank you very much for that. Prakriti, if I ask you, how long it has been you are in the community, if I may ask you that, yes.
6 months.
6 months. Okay. And Prakriti, if I have to ask you that, if you see Dr. Prakriti 6 months back and Dr. Prakriti right now, any one top shift that you see?
Um, just as I said, clarity, more empathy, and just the complete understanding that uh, your life is a sum total of your choices.
Oh, yes.
So
Bang on. Yes.
you are empowered, like you are 100% responsible, like no blame, no complaint, no regret, no excuses. If you understand that deeply within yourself, then uh, you surely, I mean, the tough situations can stay, but you surely have the inner drive to move and make choices, conscious choices, that will lead you into life. Make life affirming choices, I can say.
Yes.
And the two tools I found very very valuable here are, of course, mindfulness, because only when you are mindful, the awareness is the first step. If I'm not only aware of what are my negative patterns, what are my self destructive
कुछ हो
habits,
ही नहीं सकता. Yes.
you can't move further, you're stuck there only. And the other thing that I really love about when you teach is the value stack.
Ah, yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I see that ultimately it is a deep introspection on your value system, on your belief systems both. So for me, when I did this introspection, I saw that authenticity was
Your
top,
value.
one of my,
Mm.
it was on the top of my value stack. Integrity was very important, transparency was very important, and certain, I mean, not certain, fearlessness. So if you can kind of bring both of them together, the mindfulness and remaining congruent
Yes.
to your values, you have a, I would say, you have the full proof method to to move against any kind of
Challenges or ambiguities.
challenges or situations. Uh, it is tough, no doubt. It is painful. It's sometimes, choices also very painful,
Very. Yes.
because I am empowered to make a choice. It doesn't make you making a choice easy. It can be a very painful thing. But then again, the value. Once you understand what is your core value system, And uh, do you want to stay truthful to that? Is that
Mm.
important for you? Then you are courage. You have to get the courage to make
Yes.
those choices.
Awesome, Prakriti. I mean, I
Wonderful lessons I learned here.
no, I was just making notes. Like you spoke about cat and poets and peace, and then controllables, non-controllables, the value stack, and thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, you brought in some real golden nuggets, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who would be watching this. They would get to learn a lot from an artist's perspective, how things can be, seen and evaluated and introspected. One last thing, Prakriti, before we end this session. um, if you find yourself standing on a stage where there are millions of people looking at you, and you have a mic in your hand, and you have 10 seconds to give a message. You have 10 seconds to give a message, and there are millions of people watching, looking at you. And this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. What would be your message?
I would like to say that life is a gift. No matter how it seems to you, what it brings to you, it is unpredictable. It is challenging. It's overwhelming. But if you can see life only and only as a gift given to you by the universe for your own growth, then it's just understanding that it is your perceptions that make all the difference. It's
Yes.
choices that you're going to make that will make all the difference to your life. And so just to believe that you and only you are the master of your life. There's
Mm.
nobody else. No matter we feel we have the family and we have this, but ultimately I think it's you alone who's going to drive
Yes.
the driving force of your life. So I would say have the courage.
Mm.
Don't be meek. Don't be burdened by society's expectations,
Oh, yes.
because they don't live your life, and nobody can really uh, feel your pain. We have friends who can comfort you, but your pain is your pain, your
Mm.
challenge is your challenge. So if you can be a little bit more fearless,
Mm.
just be more honest and make those choices for yourself, you will experience life as a gift. And life is very simple. We've complicated it big time.
Yeah.
It is the most simple and uncomplicated gift given to us.
I love that. Life is a gift. Do what really makes you happy. Be fearless. Find your voice
Yes.
and make it simple, or keep it simple. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be bogged down by society's expect. That is a very good. I think that is one difference between a person who works out and an artist lives in his own cocoon. So you don't feel that kind of a burden. But when you're working with so many people outside
Mm.
and there's a whole world outside, sometimes we get burdened by those expectations, and that can make us a little meek.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Just learn to be I think just learning to be um, truthful to yourself.
That's important. Mm. Thank you, Prakriti. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful, wonderful conversation with you.
Thank
Once again, a big, big congratulations to you for being a silver star, and honored to have you in this community. And we have a long, long, long way to go.
thank
So,
you.
a lot of wishes for your dance school, a lot of wishes and power to your vision, and keep on guiding your students the way you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
God
Alok.
bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am deeply indebted, and I feel very grateful and very thankful to have you in my life as a mentor, and uh, a lot of
Thank you.
gratitude. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was Dr. Prakriti Bhaskar for you. And I'm sure a lot of takeaways, lot of learnings, lot of reflection, introspection, a lot of pointers. Similarly, in the next episode, we'll have one more silver star with us. Till then, have a lovely, lovely, lovely day. God bless you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.